Trump targets one of America's oldest Arab allies in a bizarre new remark, putting decades of partnership with Oman on the line.
They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up.
Oman will behave. With bizarre remarks, is Trump now risking the loss of a major Gulf ally just as the war threatens to restart and the region teeters on edge? Will Trump's outburst anger a key Arab friend right as it works to negotiate a sensitive Hormuz framework, potentially undercutting Washington's diplomatic lifeline? Trump's recent threat to blow up Oman has stunned observers in Washington, because it targeted one of America's oldest and closest Arab partners at a moment of high tension. America's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent issued another warning to Oman after President Trump said the nation should behave or we'll have to blow them up. Scott Bessent said, and I quote, "The United States government will not tolerate any effort to impose a tolling system in the Strait of Hormuz. Oman, in particular, should know that the U.S. Treasury will aggressively target any actors involved, directly or indirectly, in facilitating tolls for the strait, and any willing partners will be penalized. All nations should reject outright any efforts by Iran to disrupt the free flow of commerce. Tehran's days of terrorizing the region and the world are over."
President Trump said, Oman will behave just like everybody else, or we will have to blow them up. Are you guys back there in the West Wing making plans for a new war with Oman?
Again, I think the president wanted to punctuate freedom of navigation in the strait. I had a call with the Omani ambassador this morning, and he assured me that there were no plans for tolling the strait. As he said, our countries have had 200 years of good relations. He wants to have another 200 more. And I told him that this was a non-starter, and he did not want to risk either the Omani individuals or Omani financial institutions getting sanctioned.
His remark was directed at a country that has long been central to U.S. strategy in the Gulf, making the threat particularly jarring in diplomatic circles. Oman was the first Gulf Arab state to formalize relations with the United States back in 1833, anchoring nearly 2 centuries of ties. Muscat has also played a crucial role for decades as a quiet go-between in U.S.-Iran backchannel diplomacy, often hosting sensitive conversations. For roughly 15 years, Oman has helped arrange and negotiate prisoner releases between Tehran and Washington, building trust with both sides. It has also hosted backchannel talks between American and Iranian officials for more than a decade, acting as a discreet venue for de-escalation. After the 1979 Iranian Revolution, Oman signed a military agreement with the U.S., even as many regional dynamics shifted. That 1980 deal gave U.S. forces access to Omani military facilities, deepening security cooperation and basing options in the Gulf. Because of its neutral mediation-focused approach, Oman earned the nickname the Switzerland of the Middle East. Muscat has maintained an independent foreign policy shaped by its geography and long maritime history, often avoiding bloc politics. Strategically, Oman is a key regional player because it controls part of the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil and gas routes. Its position on the Arabian Sea and at the mouth of Hormuz helped make Oman a historic regional power and a vital transit hub. For decades, Oman has maintained cordial yet cautious relations with Iran, balancing engagement with its own security concerns. Unlike several other Gulf states that prioritized large-scale business with Iran, Oman focused more on diplomacy and mediation, experts note. Omani Foreign Minister Badr al-Busaidi recently said talks with Iran had made progress, signaling that diplomacy was still moving forward. He even claimed that a U.S.-Iran agreement was within reach shortly before the attacks of February 28 derailed the process. Since the U.S. and Israel began striking Iranian targets, Oman has emerged as one of the region's sharpest critics of the war. Despite war-related strikes hitting its own territory, Muscat has continued to push for diplomatic solutions rather than escalation. Iranian officials say Tehran is now discussing a new Hormuz framework with Muscat, underscoring Oman's central role in any future security architecture. Against this backdrop, Trump's on May 27 threatened to blow up Oman over its role in the negotiation process.
Iran wants control of the Strait of Hormuz. Would you accept a short-term deal that allows Iran and Oman to control the strait? And would they have to open it immediately, or would you be open to that happening over a period of time?
No, the strait's going to be open to everybody.
And who would control it?
It's international waters. Nobody's going to control it. We're going to watch over it. We'll watch over it, but nobody's going to control it. That's part of the negotiation that we have. They would like to control it. Nobody's going to control it. It's international waters, and Oman will behave just like everybody else, so we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
Mr. President, thank you. How much economic pressure do you feel to get the Strait of Hormuz open?
Well, you have to understand, the United States has so much oil that we are an exporter of oil. So we have plenty of oil. We're very lucky. We're blessed with the greatest piece of land in the world from that standpoint, and we have more than anybody else. And now when you add Venezuela to it, we have, I think, 64% of the world's oil. And we're getting along very well with Venezuela, by the way. It's being run really beautifully. The big companies are moving in. It's going to be amazing because it's also, like us, they're very blessed in that sense. But we have natural energy that no other country has. We have more than anybody else. So it's really a world problem because most of the world doesn't have that. And we're making it available. During the closing, I don't know if you've seen some of the satellite pictures, boats, hundreds of boats lined up. It looks like, I used to say, the Long Island Expressway with the cars. They're lined up and they're coming to Texas, Louisiana, they're coming to Alaska to fill up their boat, their big boat. Some of them are really big, 2 billion gallons. Even bigger than that now they make them. They make them up to 4, Chris, I hear. Now they make them up to 4. The 4 are now the big ones. Used to be the ones. Now it's 4 million barrels of, think of that, 4 million barrels of oil in one boat. But they're lined up and they're right now heading to Texas, and they've already filled up and they've gone back. In addition to that, you have a lot of boats, you have about 1,500 boats in the strait wanting to get out, and at the right time we'll release them.
But the American people, sir, are seeing higher gas prices.
Yeah, they
It's
are.
come down a little bit, but it's still $4.
No, it's come down. Oh, it'll come down a lot. It'll come down to where it was before. We had it when I was in Iowa. We had we're driving by and we saw gas stations, $1.90 a gallon, $1.85, $1.87 were the three that we saw. We had it down in some places below. Now we can't help but California where they charge so much tax that you lower it and they charge tax. They've got to straighten the act out in California, but we had oil, we had gasoline down to a very low number. I think we'll be hitting that number shortly after that whole excursion ends.
Does that give you more urgency?
But regardless of anything, as Marco said better than anybody can say it, you can't let them have a nuclear weapon. They would use it instantly. They wouldn't think about it. They would use it instantly. I've gotten to know them. They would use it instantly.
Does that give you more urgency, Mr. President? You've said that you're in no rush to make a deal, but with gas prices that are so high across the country, people are paying more for travel. Does that give you more urgency to make a deal? Why doesn't it?
Well, I'll tell you the primary urgency I have. I said this, it wasn't covered properly, but the primary urgency is that we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. But at the same time, we have a tremendous amount of oil, gas, coal. We have tremendous amounts of energy. We're blessed with something very special. Those prices are going to come down. They're going to come down fast. I think that you'll see, actually, Todd, I think you're going to see lower prices that we had even before we did this. Now, I knew there'd be an increase. I said, we have a choice. We don't have to do anything. And in 2 years or 1 year or 2 months, because Iran would have had if we didn't hit them with the B-2 bombers, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks from that date because they were ready to go. And if they had a nuclear weapon, it would have been used already. It also would have been used had I not terminated the Obama deal, the Iran nuclear deal, as we call it. That was in my first term. Had I not terminated that, they would have had a nuclear weapon a long time ago. I would say it was a guarantee that it would have been used. And it would have blown up Israel. It would have blown up the entire Middle East. And that's never going to happen.